This is Jeff Chrisman, and I'm here today on the Living Arts of Tulsa podcast, and I'm very happy to have an opportunity to be able to visit with six of the artists who have work currently on display at the current exhibit at Living Arts, which is Champagne and Chocolate. And I'm very happy today to have here with me today. I have Ann Pollard James, Jay Heinley, Petra Bay Zimmerman, Ariana Jacob, Cheryl Capps Roach, and Scott Taylor. Thank you all so much for taking the time today. I appreciate this. What I thought I would do is start out. I have a couple of questions that I was going to ask of each of you, and I thought what I would do is basically ask both at the same time and then give you an opportunity to share any thoughts or any reflections regarding these two questions. The first of which would actually be just anything that you would want to share about the work that you are currently have in the exhibit at Living Arts. In terms of inspiration or just anything from your perspective. And then the second question would be any thoughts or reflections that you might have with regards to how Living Arts has stayed relevant during the past roughly almost a year since the pandemic started. And so what I thought I would do to get things started is, Ann, actually, if I could hear from you first, I'd definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. My name's Ann Pollard James, and I'm gonna, if you don't mind terribly, I'm gonna flip the questions because I think living arts has been a really big part of my kind of starting in painting and then showing it to people like out loud. I started taking art classes a couple of years ago, but I started painting like the week before pandemic hit. And so it was like at the very beginning of or the very end of February, I started, and the world shut down. And so pandemic kind of gave the most amazing amount of time and anxiety to kind of attach to a new endeavor. And then in July, you guys at Living Arts had a show, and it was the pandemic show. It was the COVID show. And that was my very first exhibit. And it was so moving and overwhelming, and a huge part of kind of the impetus to keep going, because it's pretty amazing to have people in the art community support with such open arms, people that are starting, that are trying, that are interested and interested in putting themselves out there, which, as we all know, it's totally nerve-wracking to like go show a part of your soul to people and say, hey, tell me what you think, so Living Arts was like the first, I don't know, it's just a huge part of my little journey here, and I'm so grateful to that part of it. And I think that Living Arts has pivoted in a way that not everyone has been able to create space and create interest and kind of keep the momentum of participation virtually and in person. But I think that you all have done an outstanding job of keeping people in the community of art. So that would be my first part of that, those two questions. The other part is it's so interesting to pick what you want to paint and what moves you to explore. I've always, this is, going to reveal maybe too much, but I am the youngest with two older brothers. And so I probably have, when I was a kid, it was your brothers could do stuff, but maybe the girl wasn't really allowed to do everything that the guys did in terms of, running and freedom and all that stuff. And as an adult and as a woman and as somebody who has grown into, I don't know, like my own skin, I finally kind of am at that, I'm interested in the dynamic of the catch up. And when suddenly the equality piece comes in your own world and how you explore that. And so that, that's a pretty long-winded part of the answer, but really I'm super interested in kind of the elevation of female confidence. And that's my, sorry, that was my phone. That's
no worries.
been my, that's been really kind of the interesting part of what I'm interested in painting and exploring. And my piece in Living Arts is really examines confidence and And then there's the whimsy part, the playful part that always has to balance that. And that's the giant bananas. So I don't know. I'm interested in exploring all of those things. And it's, I rabbit hole all over the place. So it's been really fun to examine that part of it, of what catches my eye and what is something that I feel like I need to explore. So.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ann. I appreciate this. Yeah, thank you.
And you look so cute.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, very good, very good. And then Jay, I was going to go ahead and actually ask you to get to hear your reflections as well. Thank you.
Well, I'm Jay. I'm new to Living Arts. This is my first show. I've never put anything in a show. I mean, I don't know how pretty much what Ann said is pretty much me. Living Arts, like I said, since this is my first show, I really don't have anything to compare it to. For me, so I was just surprised you guys selected my work, because I've never put anything out there for anybody to see ever. And so for anybody to look at my stuff, I mean, I just kind of walked around and hid behind everything because I don't really know anybody. So nobody knows me. So I was able just to act like I was just nobody there and just look around and see what everybody thought. And I saw people taking pictures of my work, and, a piece sold, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Surprising to me. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how to tell you guys how I feel about it, because this is a new experience. This is the first ever. I've painted and drawn and graffitied and stuff my whole life, and never showed it to anyone since I've been a young boy. So this is very new to me. This is all new to me. I mean, just hearing people talk about their work, I don't even know how to talk about my work.
Yeah.
I just
totally cool.
I just begin to paint something, like I see a picture and it inspires me to paint something, and it just kind of metamorphoses into whatever it comes out to being. Sometimes I'll put stuff down for a week or so and pick it back up and add to it, or I'll spray paint something on it, or I'll paint something on it, or I'll stencil something on it. I don't know. So I mean, all through my life, a lot of things inspire me to paint. What Tulsa, the whole art show thing, to me, I don't know. It's great. I mean, I can't believe there's people out there that sit around and talk about their work. I thought I was an alien. So people don't really do that where I'm from. So
yeah,
it's a great experience. I appreciate the experience and the chance to put my work out there. So I've got like 4 pieces in the thing. I'm surprised you guys picked one. So I don't know how to tell you about it. I mean, I saw Scott there. I saw Scott there. I've seen some of Ann's work. If yours is the bananas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yours was the giant banana. So, I mean, it's good to put a face to who painted it, but I'll stop rambling because I don't really know what to say.
Oh no, this is great. This
is my first show ever. It's my first time
Yeah.
ever letting my work be seen by people I don't know. So for people to see my work that I don't know, like my kids, my wife, that, people that I've known for years, friends, it's fine. But people I don't know, never. Unless I did it without people knowing who I was and did it in secret. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I really honor you for being open to taking that leap and submitting, for the show. And I just trying to imagine not being an artist myself, what that would feel like to, suddenly find out that you're going to get this opportunity to share this with people in this way. And so I didn't know if there's anything else you may share just about the experience of, dropping your work off, or just what it felt like to, not to put you on the spot, but just anything you might share.
Well, I mean, it was great. Like I said, I've never done that before. So me and I live in West Fork, Arkansas.
Oh,
so
okay.
I live out of I'm in the area. So pretty much we strapped it on top of my wife's car, and I get to go to Tulsa and hang out with my best friend and my wife, and
Yeah.
experience, just the whole Tulsa city scene. We went to Kilkenny's and Roosevelt's and
Yeah. Yeah.
had a great time, man. But I can't remember the girl's name that I dropped my work off to, but she was great.
Maybe Jessica
I wish
or
I could
Sina,
remember her
possibly.
name.
Or, yeah.
Do what?
Either Jessica or Sina, maybe. That's
It may be
kind of thing.
Jessica. I can't remember her name. I'm so bad with
Yeah.
names.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
But yeah, she was great. I mean, like I said, this is the first one.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic. It was more. I couldn't believe it. The girls that took my work said she liked my work, and I left there feeling. I mean, like $1 million. Nobody's ever
Love that.
told me anything
Love
about
it.
my work, so I've never let anybody see my work.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Jay, I definitely honor you, man. And thanks so much for being here today and sharing this. It means a lot. It really does. I appreciate
Well,
that.
thank you for the experience. I mean,
You betcha. Yeah. And then Petra Bay, I think we'll actually move over to you next, if that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I think Anna said it probably best about what pandemic, and I've definitely seen it on art opportunities, the Tulsa and Oklahoma and the Tulsa artist, and shared posts and stuff. So that's good. And you've gotten back to stuff that you were able to do the last year. So that's good. And the pandemic's good and bad for everybody. I'm sure everybody wants to get on with it and sell some stuff. So honestly, selling the stuff is the biggest thing, to put it in a gallery and have everyone be inspired, hopefully. And my stuff, I hope, makes people at least excited and happy. If there's a feeling I'd want someone to get out of it. And yeah, selling it would be exciting, just because what I do is I work a lot with charity, just doing my own stuff, whether it's homeless or the abused kids. And I've been working to support a burn camp lately. So I just pick and choose whenever I feel like something needs to be done, or I don't know. So anytime I make money, it always gets recycled into being able to be something more and more. So the more I get, the more I can do and give back, and let's hope it keeps coming. And like Jay was saying, it's exciting when somebody likes your stuff, because I've done a limited amount of exhibits, but thank goodness most of the stuff are the opportunities. I click into Tulsa, something connects, and maybe 1 out of 10 doesn't work, but then sometimes 5 out of 10 works. You just gotta, anything you can touch. But Tulsa's really cool with having a whole lot of opportunities. So most stuff is just, it's right there. It's just waiting for everybody who wants it. So yeah. And I guess with my art, like I said, I wanted to excite people and inspire them. That's why I like to put lots of things in it. And it's my background was I just got raised really abused, and then when I got older, it was I didn't live with my parents by the time I was 13, and then I moved to Kansas when I was 15, and then I was all over the place. So I've been in Tulsa for or Broken Arrow, and I'm moving to Tulsa soon, but I've been here 5 years, and it's my favorite place.
I love it. I love it.
I belong, and that I can be myself, and I have tons of siblings, but I was always just the quiet one. Like I'm like the loudest one, and I'm the artsy one out of else is like 9 to 5 or just now having babies, and my babies are like, they're doing their thing now, but I'm also getting to do a lot of things. And yeah, again, with selling work or letting people know who you are, I can do more and more, which is excited, because I've always created or repurposed something that was maybe nothing, that I could turn it into something, because I love art. So thank you guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for sharing. We're definitely good to have you here. Thank you. Thank you. And then Ariana, we'll go ahead and move over to you. If she's still, let's see if she's still
Yes,
with
I'm
us.
here. Sorry.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really happy to follow what Petra's saying, because I like the idea of recycling I work in a few different ways, but one of the pieces that I have in the show is a collage. And to tie that into the pandemic, a few friends of mine, we started a quarantine collage club. And so about once a week, we'll just share a collage we're working on. And that the one piece that I have that's collaged was something I think I started maybe a year or even two ago, and just, kind of set it aside. I'm sure a lot of the artists can relate to having, a few of those pieces that just aren't working quite yet. And it was nice to return to that and say, why don't I play around with a few different pieces of paper? And I also repurpose a lot of my students' work. So I'm an art teacher here in Tulsa, and I'm definitely sifting through the recycling can daily just to see what kind of things the kids toss that they're not happy with. It might be the texture of a painted paper that got tossed, or a line drawing, and I'll just kind of save those, and I keep those in my studio for for future use. And so that one came together pretty nicely for this show. The other pieces I've been working on are painted with wine, and that actually came about through a living arts show. I think about 3 years ago, they had a fundraiser called Dionysian Nights. And when I was brainstorming a piece that I wanted to paint for the show, I was researching Dionysus, who is the god of wine. And I thought, I wonder what would happen if I painted with this. And that's something I've been doing now for the last, since that time, almost 3 years. And it's also opened me up to painting with other natural materials. I've been painting a lot with beet juice. I love beets because I'm Russian. We eat that all the time. The other day I was painting with cinnamon because I was doing a painting for a dog named Cinnamon, and I thought, I wonder what this looks like. So I'm just trying to experiment more with materials that are around me, because since we've been remote sometimes with teaching, I always have to consider what materials students might have in their house. So it's made me be a lot more, I guess, a lot more simple when it comes to the materials that I can use, instead of purchasing something, what's in your cabinet that you can make into art, because that's what artists do. And then the last kind of type of artwork I make are clay pieces. And I'm not trained in clay, but again, being an art teacher, I teach clay. So it's something I want to get more comfortable with. So I'm always experimenting with, how to fire things, how to glaze things. And I had a clay teacher tell me once that clay will tell you what it wants to be. So I started to, just in working with clay, I started to create these little creatures, and I couldn't tell you what they are. Some people think they look like teeth. Some people think they look like hearts, but to me, they're just whimsical and fun. And when I give them to people, or they've been purchased, they just say how fun and happy they make them. So I think definitely in this time, I'm really happy to be creating work that can produce that feeling in people. And then to answer your question about living arts, I think living arts has done such an incredible job, not just in the Tulsa community, but really nationally, as far as creating a format to present work both virtually and in person that is appropriate to everybody's safety realm. Some people are comfortable coming in person to view shows, and I think the procedures that are put into place, temperature checks, a health form for contact tracing, hand sanitizer, mask use, I mean, they just do such a great job of making you feel so safe when you're in the space. And living arts is a huge space, so you don't worry about coming into a space that might be crowded, like if you were going into a little bakery or something like that. And then the virtual content is incredible, because if you choose not to attend in person, you have a wealth of content that's available to you, whether it be the actual night of the opening or throughout the season of the show. For example, this what we're doing right now as being an additional content option for people. So I just think living arts has made their space and their resources available to such a diverse group of artists, but also a diverse audience. And that's something that I really admire about the organization, that they've consistently done to make new emerging artists, first-time artists feel comfortable. And also some of us that have shown with them before, presenting a lot of new opportunities time after time for us to think about our work in a different way, or to create new content for a particular show.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ariana, and I really appreciate that. And I was going to say, I want to honor you because if I'm not mistaken, I know that I had been doing audio interviews and actually did my last one of those like in person at Living Arts, like literally a day or two before like the whole world broke, it feels like.
Yeah.
And I want to honor you because I believe, unless I am mistaken, and I sat on this for a couple of weeks, I really wasn't sure that I was comfortable using Zoom, but I knew it was really going to be the only way forward. And I really didn't want to let the team down at Living Arts either, because I really wanted to continue this, for them as well. And so it's really cool. If I'm not mistaken, I think you are the first person that I did an actual video interview with. And I want to say that may have been late March, early April of last year.
You are exactly correct. Because I remember us both being in that headspace of, number one, we're new to this Zoom platform, which by now feels like, a cell phone, like it's so commonly used.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I remember both you and I just talking about, we were both very just kind of swimming in this new state of
Yes.
what's happening and what does the future hold. And
Yeah.
it was really good to talk to you, because I think you really make everyone you speak to feel comfortable, and it was a great conversation. So thank you for continuing on with that format, to now.
Thank you so much. I really, those words are very moving. I really appreciate that, Ariana. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then also have Cheryl Capps Road. Cheryl, I was also going to, if we could hear from you as well. Nice to meet you, by the way, also.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. Yeah, thanks a lot for putting this together. This is really, really fun, and I think a wonderful opportunity for all of us. So I have 5 oil paintings in the exhibit, and I say oil because I noticed that they were labeled as acrylic. So, but they're oil.
Yeah.
It's 4 abstract and 1 figure. This has really been an interesting time for me as an artist, because really my art training and background has been realism, not abstract, and mostly figurative work. Normally in my studio, we'll hire a model, I'll get a couple other artists, and we'll work from a live model. And I also help facilitate the model sessions that we have there at Living Arts. And I know Anne comes to them. So hi, Anne. I haven't seen you in forever because we had to postpone our sessions, unfortunately. So I think, as a result of that, as an artist, being an artist is already kind of isolating, in that we're doing something just individually on our own. Having the figure sessions is an opportunity to be with other artists, which can be very inspiring, can be kind of a support group in a way. So during this pandemic, I think we've all felt so isolated because we've had to pull back and not be a part of these groups, and not have the figure sessions any longer. So as a result of that, I began just kind of exploring different ways of painting. And so I started doing abstract, which was totally out of my realm. I had never done abstract before. So I began kind of experimenting. I will tell you, it was extremely challenging. To me, abstract work is a lot more difficult than doing figurative or realism. So I became more and more immersed in it. And I realized that I was really kind of looking within my own emotions, it was really a true expression of myself rather than an expression of what I was seeing in front of me, it was tough. So I think that I've grown a lot as an artist. I think that that's been very exciting for me. So I see it as an upside. So I guess in a way I've kind of developed during this pandemic, what I didn't expect to. You know, and I think also I was using the same themes in my artwork that I normally do in my figurative work, only in an abstract, non-objective way. You know, and my figurative work is mostly women. It is typically showing the woman as a strong symbol of hope, of change, of self-determination. And somehow that was also coming out in my abstract work. So I found that interesting for me to be, you know, revealed in a way that I could express that non-objectively. So I was really excited to get to share my abstract work. To be honest with you, I was terrified to even enter it because nobody had really seen it. So I was really excited about that. And then I have one piece that is a figurative work. And it is a young female that has a bird that has landed on the woman's head, and it's really symbolizing. And I've named it Safe Harbor because for me, it's symbolizing the woman as a point of safety. This bird is coming from kind of a windstorm and is finding safety upon the woman. So still a part of the theme that I normally express, but also in the figurative work. So, and in terms of living arts, I think it's just, they've done a phenomenal job, absolutely phenomenal. I also participated in the quarantine show back in the summer. I was thrilled to have an opportunity. There was a point where I just thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to go a year longer and not have any opportunity to show my work. You know, it's just, that's so hard, I think, for all of us as an artist to do this work, and you want to have people see it, you know, you want to have some feedback, and to think that we would not have an opportunity to do that because everything was so shut down. So I was thrilled for Living Arts to provide that this summer. But Living Arts, I think what it's done is it's really taken the pandemic and said, okay, that's fine, but so here's what we're going to do. We're going to develop some standards that is safety for the artist and participants, and this is how we're going to do it, and we're going to do it right, but we're going to keep on going when other ones just, you know, put a halt to everything. So I think I just appreciate Living Arts continuing to offer all of us these opportunities through this, you know, terrible time. They've adjusted when others haven't, and I really, really appreciate it. I think that they've done a phenomenal job.
Cheryl, thank you so much. I really appreciate all that you shared today. Thank you. And really appreciate you being a part of this. It's nice to meet you today.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I can't wait
Well,
to
we've come to
back
that point.
Do what?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I was
I'm
going to
sorry.
say.
I just said I can't wait to come back to class,
I
Cheryl.
can't either. I miss everybody.
Well, here we go. We have the one, the
It's
only.
over now. Just kidding. Show's over. No one else.
That's right. This is the one, the only Scott Taylor. Here he is. Glad to have you with us, man.
And
Thanks.
good to see you in the virtual format. All of you, actually. It's really awesome. I'm glad that we still figured out a way to make this happen.
Yeah.
Also, I'm 100% going to need you to repeat those questions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
100%.
Basically the first one.
That was eons ago.
It's been a minute or two, as the kids say. Yeah.
What am I answering?
Yeah, the first one, basically, it would just be, it's kind of an open-ended, just anything you would want to share about the work that you have in this particular exhibit, just in terms of, you know, your perspective, inspiration, anything like that. And then secondly, just any thoughts that you might have as far as, you know, how you feel that living arts has stayed relevant during this time, you know, since the pandemic started.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll hit that second one first because, I mean, I just want to kind of jump on what Ariana was saying. Like, living arts did such a great job of pioneering so quickly that they became a template for other organizations, and they did it as safe as possible. And again, the fact that they're still out there creating a platform for people to get visibility is like huge. And it's like a family there. I mean, like I love living arts. Like they're awesome. And I just feel like they've really done head and shoulders more than was expected of them, I think. And that's pretty kick ass. So yeah, that's what I think about that.
I love it.
Pieces in the show. Okay, so I have Trey's pieces in the show. I've got a piece called Happy, which so all my art, I really want people just to be happy when they look at it. Like that's why it's hard for me to paint. If you guys have seen my stuff, you know it's like really bright and colorful and vibrant, because like I can't paint not bright. Like, and one of the things I hear from my patrons is like, hey, your art makes me happy. And it's like, that's the highest compliment I could ever receive. When you're having a down day, you know, like you're like, you need that pick me up, you know, something like that makes a difference. And I think that I think that's important, you know? So I just want my art to be happy. So in this show, I've got a piece called Happy, which has tons of cool colors in it, lots of texture. I'm acrylic and mixed media. So I use acrylic paint mostly, and then pretty much like whatever I can find in my studio, honestly, like chalk pastels, spray paint. One time my dog peed on a painting. I just painted it in. I let it dry, painted it in.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But mixed media, you know, lots of different stuff. And and then my other piece is a buffalo that I really love because he has huge heart glasses. And I'm a big Elton John fan. I'm a big fan of people just letting their freak flag fly and being weird and being loud and wearing the nice shit, being extra. I'm here for all that. And so to me, my little bison kind of represents that vibe, you know, of just like getting out there and being you, you know. And then my third piece is a piece that I did for a Alice in Wonderland theme show, and it's the Queen of Hearts. And I love Alice in Wonderland. I love that story, and so it was fun to kind of pull some ideas within a framework of that story visually. It was a kind of an interesting challenge. I haven't done anything like that before, and I really enjoyed it. So I might do more movie theme shows. I don't know. Back to the Future, maybe Star Wars, Indiana Jones. So many good trilogies to choose from, honestly. So I think that's it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, brother. That's definitely glad to have you here. I hope it's okay to say this. I'm also getting a little bit of a Lennon vibe with the glasses, maybe just a little John Lennon vibe going on.
Listen, I appreciate that, man. That's exactly the vibe I'm going for. So thank you.
Well, it's coming through, man. It's coming through. Well, hey, I want to, unless I don't think I've forgotten anyone. I hope not. It's been fantastic hearing from all of you. And again, I really appreciate you, you know, not only, you know, with your contribution to this exhibit and to living arts and being a part of this. I also really appreciate all of you taking time on a Saturday afternoon to share about your involvement and about what the organization means to you. I honor all of you for that. And it's been great visiting with each of you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It's been great.
Thanks again. Really appreciate it.